The God Emperor of mankind, the Galactic Cheek Clapper. Sat on his golden throne in ancient terror, he battles the demons in the warp, while also guiding humanity across the stars with nothing but his mind. One day, at some point in the year 40,000, he decides to send a fragment of his essence across the warp to a strange land where a potentially significant conflict is brewing. And he arrives in a church. Oh, there's work to be done. Hello and welcome back to my 25 beautiful subscribers. Today we are doing an Emperor build. Go ahead and pick those luscious locks, and when it comes to designing his face, you can copy whatever I do here, but just know he's 70% chin, so as long as his chin is just way too big for his face, you'll get that classic Emperor look that you're looking for. Bonus points if you can make him look angry as well, like sullen. Moving on to gear, you have what I think is the best looking set, and that's the Tree Sentinel set. I will be showing you how to get this, but I consider that to be sort of like the most golden, most Emperor-esque set. But there's also the Resin set, which is gold as well. The downside with the Resin set is the gloves and the legs don't look as Emperor-y, but the Leyendell Knights and the Leyendell Soldiers both drop golden gloves and golden legs that you can mix and match with the Resin set to get the sort of like pure gold effect that you're looking for. It's up to you if you want to go and get these. I tended to just mix and match as I went through the whole game, so you know, some fights I would have the Resin set, some fights I would have the Tree Sentinel set. Basically anything gold works for this build. Moving on to the weapons, for your primary weapon, you just want any sword that you can set on fire. The Emperor's classic sword, the one now being wielded by Raboot Guilliman. You want a sword that you can set on fire to cut about, delivering true death to everything that you see. I mainly stuck with the Flame Burge throughout this build. The Flame Burge, you can use the fire grease on it, you can put any Ash of War that you want on it, but most importantly for me, the Flame Burge actually doesn't have a sheath, so you can see these other swords that I'm cycling through here, they have a sheath that cuts across the Emperor's back, and that can clip with your cape as you're running around and stuff like that, which I don't like. The Flame Burge, however, stands alone on the shoulder, just kind of sits there, and I think it's perfect for that reason. For the offhand weapon, we are going with the second most iconic Emperor weapon, and that is the Claw. I chose the Hook Claws because you get them early, and I think like proportionally they look good. The good thing with the Flame Burge and the Hook Claw is that they both have bleed, so it doesn't matter which one you choose to attack with, you will be building up bleed as you go. Bleed's not as good now as it was in the early days of Elden Ring, but it's still viable and it still just adds a bit of extra power to the build. You can go for the Bloodhound Claws if you want, I just don't think they look as good. Just like the Flame Burge, the Hook Claws can have any Ash of War put on them as well, which is a huge bonus. And this is a shot of the sword on fire. This is the classic look that you're going to be trying to recreate as much as possible throughout the build. I will put a short few sentences in the description letting you know where you can farm the materials to get just hundreds of fire greases so you don't have to worry about them. As for the spells, I use lightning-based incantations and heal-based incantations, but honestly, you can literally use anything you want. I mean, this is the fucking God Emperor of mankind. It's not like there's a spell in here that he can't use. But now let's get started clapping some cheeks. Go ahead, create your character, die to the starting boss temporarily, good thing the Emperor is a perpetual, and get yourself into the lands between. You want to progress the quest with Vare just for farming purposes, but once you've done that, head over to Fort Height and get yourself the first Dectus Medallion. Run past all the enemies in here. You can kill the Night Guard in the fort if you want the Ash of War. Completely optional, but it could be good on your Flame Burge later if that's what you fancy doing. Once you've got that medallion, go ahead and take the super secret teleport waygate to the Beast Sanctum. I do think that it's quicker just getting both medallion pieces than going up the rune-strewn precipice. You don't have to fight any bosses, and honestly, unless you do the whole precipice perfectly, this is actually just quicker anyway. It takes less time to just run and get these medallions. Make your way across Dragon Barrow to the second fort. Go ahead and grab the Grace outside as it's pretty useful, and then run through the vampire enemies at the bottom of Fort Faroth. Now, one thing I will note at this point, if you want to use the Flame Burge throughout the whole journey, from this point head down to Castle Redmane. and grab the Flame Burge now, because once you activate the lift, I believe that's what starts the Festival of War, and then it's locked behind a door until you kill Radahn. So go ahead and grab that now if that's what you want to do, but if you've got another sword in mind that you want to use for your build, don't worry about that. Next, we're going to head over to Leyendell, take the lift, run past all these enemies, and we are going to go to the Azura's Hero Grave. Now, this is the annoying part about this start of the run, to be honest. You are actually going to have to do, at least to a certain extent, this Hero's Grave. You don't have to kill the boss, but the Tree Sentinel set actually drops from a chariot that you can destroy. One useful thing about this grave is that you can unlock this stone, you can unlock this fog door and grab the golden epitaph weapon. It'll just help you get through the early game. Now, you can either do the puzzles in this area, or you can do what I did and use the Margit's Shackle. This actually interferes with the chariots and destroys them without you needing to activate the trap. And as you can see here, I died, but still ended up getting the golden Tree Sentinel set. Alright, and now we are starting to look like the daddy-o of mankind himself. All gold, still need to sort out the weapons, but we are halfway there. You can use these goblins at the Beast Sanctuary to farm. Just get yourself out of the early levels, you know, levels like 20 to 30. They give decent XP. Go ahead and kill Margit. This is the first boss that you have to kill, really, before the build's complete. And then shortly after Margit are the Hook Claws. There's a Leyendell Knight in Liurnia that you can kill for the Dragon Cult Prayer Book. This is going to give you those lightning spells. And honestly, once you get a hold of that, I mean, that's the base of the build complete. Go ahead and do some perfectly legitimate farming after you complete various side quests. There's really no upper limit to how much you can farm here. This is the God Emperor of mankind, so I mean, like, realistically, the higher level you can get, the more true to theme that the build's going to be. So now your build is complete. Time to bring some cold, hard Imperial truths to these motherfuckers. Starting with this fabulous Bile-esque dude. There we go, absolutely knack him. Hey, yo, respect to this dude, though. Send this dragon off to Mars with your fucking mind powers. I think it's time for this witch to learn about the Edict of Nicaea. However, I guess she is dedicated to science, studying the stars, so maybe, yeah, we'll let her live. Deal a mercy killing to Radahn. Rest in peace, King. There is a place in the Imperium for you. Fucking demon of Slaanesh, dishing out some true death to this geese. Agent of Zeech thinks he's a god-devouring serpent. He fucking wishes. Sorry, bro, you're kind of cool, but not human, and around here, that's a fucking no-no. These duo bros making the Emperor wait. That's so rude. Confirmation that fucking chaos has gripped the lands between. The Emperor destroys this tool of chaos, but in that destruction, the Erd Tree burns. One thing that the Emperor hates is nonsense. Some true death for you, man. Treating this guy like he accidentally got put in GP. Oh shit, Goddess of Rot, we've got a fucking Nurgle Queen after us. Oh, the Emperor does indeed run away from this move. And the Emperor apparently temporarily dies to this bullshit move as well. Got there in the end. Rip. And then we see the most disgusting thing that we've seen in the Lands Between yet. The two things that the Emperor hates the most combined into one. Aliens and chaos. We're going to be taking this Elden beast to Browntown. And with a final swing of his sword, the Elden beast is destroyed, and the people left in the Lands Between are free from chaos. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, definitely give it a go. This is a really fun build. I had a lot of good time with this build. I would say the more you level, the better the build is, because you know you're using incantations, so you kind of have to level faith, dexterity, and strength at the same time. So there's a high level requirement. If you've got the patience to sit and farm for a while, then it's definitely gonna be worth it as you make your way through the run. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, maybe with another themed build.